Here we go. First episode of the Tied Down series. This is only my second year doing this, but the third big show coming up in Detroit that I've tried to have guests on to hype up the big show. As you know, Tied Down. It is very cool that it's happening. It's bigger than ever, and the fucking lineups are just insane. So, with that being said, the opening band for the second pre-show. It's wild that there's so many days of this shit, but the second pre-show, Stop at Nothing. My longtime friend Kenny and Nick came over. We can get into the band with them in the podcast, but this has been a long time coming since they dropped their shit. Last April, it's been just about a year since they put out their EP, so go check that out. Fucking Descent to Dirt. I listen to that song almost every day. So if you don't listen to it every day, make sure you listen to it every day. Learn the words, and fucking throw Barstool at the Magic Stick when they open up the best pre-show to ever exist in all of hardcore. Not just Detroit, but all of hardcore. So, yeah, man, I'm talking to a few homies and some bands that I want to try to get on before the fest. It's going to be a good one. And a shout out to everybody who participates and helps. And, you know, oh shit, something just came up on my computer. Hold on. Don't give a fuck. What is that? Reload what, bitch? I don't know what the fuck is going on. Anyways, I need some alcohol after that one. Anyways, I love Stop at Nothing. You should listen to Stop at Nothing. Nick and Kenny, both super passionate about hardcore and about music. Kenny is a hardcore historian. He knows a lot about a lot of shit. He's one of the longest standing and most active elder of the hardcore scene here in Detroit. So he's like a senior citizen basically, but he mushes for almost every band, so we love him. And Nick, he's the man. Fucking heart of gold. Just loves to talk, and he's really good at expressing himself, and you know, just talking about shit he loves and people he loves, and that's what this is all about. If you ain't about it, then you can go fuck yourself. How about that? And before you listen to this, I hope you went and checked out the DHC podcast. They did a pretty cool episode talking about a lot of things going on up and coming in Detroit, and yeah, God, man, those two dudes are awesome, and they booked a show. They did book a show, and as I delay, I'm going to pull up the date, but I know for a fact it is Spirit of Vengeance, and the other band that they do. At the moment, I cannot remember the name because I'm a dumb motherfucker, but we're about to find out right now. Destined to Burn, yes, with Michigan's finest, Concuss and Nuff Said. That's going to be at Gatekeeper Games. Not until May 18th, so just before Tied Down. Check those bands out. Spirit of Vengeance opened up the pre-show, the first pre-show last year at Edgemen with Gridiron and E-Town Concrete. They fucking kick ass, and the new shit they just dropped is really good. So go listen to that. And Lyric, dude from D-Block, he's also in Stop at Nothing. He's fucking doing everything. He mixed or mastered the thing. I know it's two different things, but it sounds good. I dig it. And with all that being said, I'm going to let you guys listen to Nick and Kenny rant and rave and talk about how much they love hardcore and how it's always been there for them in a time of need, and even when you didn't need it, it was there. And the same freaks that fucking comes with hardcore are always there. Do your homework, support your local scene, and as always, go fuck yourself. Recording.
Hello.
Kenny and Nick.
Hi.
Stop at Nothing. But they would know this if they see the title, so.
Yeah. Hi, Rob.
Hi. Thank you for coming over. Oh, well, we've been talking about this for a long time. Since you guys started the band, actually.
Yep.
You know, like last April or May is when you guys dropped your demo EP. What do you call it? Demo? Is it
was an EP.
We call it, yeah, like I call it a demo sometimes. Everyone else calls it an EP. I don't know what to call it
I think
anymore.
we put too much production behind that to where that's an EP to me. That's a record.
I think
It's
that's
not very
fair.
rough. It's pretty polished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's a fair way of putting it for sure.
The 1 year anniversary of us releasing that was this past weekend. Actually, it was last Saturday.
Oh
shit.
yeah, when we played the Lansing show, that was 1 year of that EP coming out, and then we just never said that at the show.
I
just
completely blanked on that. I was going to say something about it, and then like in the moment, I just blacked
Completely
out.
forgot
Yeah.
about it. Yep,
How did that show go, by the way?
A lot of fun.
really very cool. Oh yeah.
Monty House, cool spot, Lansing. I implore everyone around here to get up there and play a show. Everyone there is very chill, very cool, very nice, very accommodating. It definitely gives me kind of metal frat vibes to an extent. Not as big, room wise, but the fact that it's like on a college campus.
Yeah, it's in the heart of like Michigan State.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And it feels very much like there's a lack of like rules and responsibility to a certain extent. Just as long as you're respecting the house still.
Sure.
People are still moshing hard, but no fights, no bullshit, nothing like that.
Nobody was punching the ceiling like an idiot. Like
Yeah,
everyone was having
No one
fun.
was destroying the facilities themselves, just destroying each other.
Yeah, which is what you want. So
Awesome. Yeah, man, it was a cool ass lineup, especially for everybody to come. Because everybody from Lansing, they try to make their way out to Detroit for a lot of the shows.
Mhm.
And, they go there or to Grand Rapids, and there's not technically as many shows up there, I suppose, as in Detroit. But it's cool to see everybody go up there and show some love to the Lansing folks, because there's always been a connection, like how with like Grand Rapids and shit. So.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. My house exists, and they're starting. I'm starting to see within the last couple of years, they're starting to be like this from the ground up kind of thing within Lansing, because it's a cool middle spot in between Grand Rapids and Detroit, and it should be getting more attention. It should be getting more shows and stuff. And it's cool that there's this place where everyone in the state can kind of meet in the middle.
that's what I really appreciate, that idea of it, that people from the west side and the east side only have to drive an hour and a half to get there.
Yeah.
For the most part, whereas Grand Rapids is like almost 3 hours away from us over here, and vice versa. And like people don't want to drive, which sucks, but it's just nice. It's nice that
have
Lansing
like a
is
little mill spot.
Yeah. Shout out to Monty House for doing that. So
Yeah, it was a cool lineup. Who was it? It was Stop at Nothing, Vigilante, Resolute.
Nothing to Bleed, and Stretch Thin.
Yeah, stretching from Grand Rapids. It's dudes that it used to be Brad from Luck Runs Out. I think it's guys that used to be Wept, but when they stopped being Wept, that singer left. Brad switched to vocals, and it became Stretch Thin.
And it sounds sick.
Yeah.
I do really like Stretch Thin a lot.
Also, Peace Sells, which is a new Grand Rapids band, played a couple songs before Stretch Thin. I think that's another Brad band. He's playing guitar on that.
It's basically just Stretch Thin with Billy on drums, as far as I
because
can tell.
the drummer from Stretch Thin sings for Peace Sells.
Nice.
So yeah, they did like a little surprise 2-song thing, and then I think their first actual show is
Sheer Terror.
the Sheer Terror show that just got announced. So
Yeah.
good for them.
It was a bad week for Sheer Terror to come to Michigan, because it's like a day before like the first pre-show in Detroit.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize it was that
it's,
week. Fuck.
The 28th. I don't think I turned away from here or something, because there's so much going on that weekend. But
Probably.
like
That's so much. I
that's
hate.
another $30 on top of.
Right.
Well, yeah, and I know that I hate
few
it because
hundred.
I looked at the show. I'm like, oh man, that'd be cool to go to. I haven't actually gone to get out to Grand Rapids for a show in a while, and I saw it was on a Wednesday. I'm like, fuck, I can't take the day off.
Can't
for
do
it.
that.
Yeah.
Not gonna be able to do that. And now that you made it the point that it's the same week as all this other shit, now that's almost too much 1 week. But if people are in Grand Rapids or have the time to get out to Grand Rapids, they should kick off their tied down week with that fucking show. Absolutely.
100%.
You make it a 5-day.
Yeah, make it a
hardcore
5-day.
weekend.
Spend all your money.
Which is a good show to go to.
Get kicked in the head 5 days in a row.
It's just a super, inconvenient for us when we got starting Thursday.
Right.
Edgemont, which is cool, man. But then, shit, you guys opening Friday, that is just absolutely fucking insane, man.
We've been through the roof ever since like we got the call from Jimmy asking us to do it. Like, I don't think I've ever been more anticipated for anything in my life, other than aside my wedding.
Dude, your wedding's number one, and then this show's number two.
Yeah, my wedding's number one. Marauder Cold as Life is number two.
That's fucking bonkers, man. Like, who would have thought? I never would have thought. Would you hope and you can think of these fucking dream lineups and shit, but then you got a Missing Link and Bayway and Queensway, like.
Yeah, the lineup's absurd. Like the fact that we get to be part of it is unreal.
It's ignorant, is what it is. I think that's a perfect way of putting it.
There's a lot of comments, people saying they're like, which is awesome. They're like, fuck the main show. They're like, the pre-show is absolutely nuts. Which not fuck it, honestly.
Yeah.
But, like how crazy it is.
I think I know what you're saying. Yeah.
All 4 days are good, but I also get why people, if you're into a certain type of hardcore, if you're into a bunch of like ass beater shit, why Friday is 100% up your alley more than maybe the other days.
Yeah. Which is cool though, because last year, like kind of like the theme for most like the first day of Tie Down was just fucking ass beat, like crazy band, like 100 Demons, Laid to Rest and shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yep.
So, which is still heavy shit going on both main days, but the first main fest is, or sorry, pre-show.
That pre-show is
second
stupid.
Pre-show. My bad.
It's technically it's the second pre-show, but yeah, I'm super excited for it. I'm very grateful. I'll just say that it's cool to have this going. I'm just excited, just straight up excited. I can't think of anything else to say.
Yeah, thanks to Jimmy and Curtis for asking us to play. Like, I was just happy getting to see like Missing Link, Marauder, Cold as Life, all these bands. Fail Realm is sick. Getting to play with them is absurd, but now there's a pressure on us where we have to set the tone for the night and for the weekend.
It's not even, but it's at least for me, it's not. We can't look at it as pressure. It's just we are setting the tone. That's it. There's no pressure. It's just set the tone.
We have to do it.
Yeah, you just do it.
We have to do it.
Let's have fun.
It's fucking crazy. It's so crazy. Because with your old band, I forgot what it was called.
Retribution.
Yeah, I almost said Revolution. Retribution.
You're so close.
When your first show was at the Magic Stick with like fucking Terror.
Yep.
And I don't even know
my god, I didn't even think of that.
I played that show, so
yeah.
A lot of the bands that play Foundation at least, which we're coming up on the 15th anniversary of that show.
That's crazy.
Which is nuts. That'll be this June, I think, would be 15 years since that show happened.
Wow. But yeah, like I was gonna say, for you to be just another band that gets to open for such a huge show. The kickoff.
It's nuts.
It's fucking crazy.
Oh no, that we're incredibly blessed because the amount of talent and bands that are coming through Detroit right now, like Jimmy and Curtis could have had any pick of anyone,
any pick of the litter,
and for us to get selected, we're internally grateful. Like it's insane how stacked Detroit is in this very moment. I've been saying this for the last couple of years. Like in the 20+ years I've been going to shows, I can't think of a time where Detroit was this fucking stacked all once.
It's not even just Detroit. It's like all of Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan as a whole is absurd. I can remember 10 years ago even that there were only like 3 bands that people cared about,
Yeah.
And now it's like it's insane. There's like 15 or 20 bands that everybody loves, and it's just it's beautiful is the best way to put it.
My favorite thing is no one sounds the same. Everyone has their own identity, even bands that share members. But we all kind of have our own thing going on. Like, it's not like no one's really ripping off one another. Like, there's everyone has a distinct thing going on, but we're all still able to play cool ass shows together. And that's the best thing.
Yeah, and it's all homies. Even though there's only 20 musicians and 100 bands, it all.
We need more drummers.
Yeah, for the love of God.
For the love of God, I'm too stupid to do it. My body doesn't work the way I want to, but if you are capable, please learn drums.
We don't need electricians. We don't need plumbers. We need more drummers. That's what we actually need.
Drop out of college, learn drums.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was kind of envied in Pennsylvania because of how like stacked like their entire like state from like, Pittsburgh to Philly to Wilkes-Barre to
Yeah.
Erie. It's always like the four corners. It's all hardcore, and it's cool that we got shit up in the UP. We got it in Alpena at the top of the Lower Peninsula, all the way to the west, Central, East Coast.
It doesn't make sense really.
Yeah.
Like
No,
every time that I think about it, I'm like, it doesn't make sense as to why we have so many bands going now. But like, it makes me happy. It just makes me happy. That's the best way to put it.
And the other thing is, I'm trying to think of the right way to phrase this. How many young bands are good right out the gate? Like usually, if you're like a teenager, early 20s, your first band or two should fucking suck. But then you got these young ass kids, and their bands are fucking awesome.
Yep.
And that's hardcore's always gonna be a youth movement. Like, I'm old as fuck. I can't be doing this forever. I'm trying to as much as possible. It's always going to rely on how much energy the youth puts into this thing. And the fact that they're doing it the right way, they're taking influence from the right bands, they're getting into old shit, they're doing their homework, that's awesome. And I'm glad to see so much more of that, because I feel for a while there wasn't a lot of that. People were very much in the here and now, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But kids are like taking their influence from everything now, and that's awesome.
And the most important thing that I think too is, well, I guess the second most important thing is that nobody seems to have an ego. Like, everybody just gets along, and everybody's just happy to see Michigan doing so well. So I am grateful for that as well, that for all the bands that exist in Michigan right now, nobody has an ego. Everybody just loves each other, and it's awesome. And then we also love beating the shit out of each other. So
yeah, that's the thing, is like, the mosh has been pretty ignorant in Michigan, like the last few years. Like, it's always been pretty ignorant, but you don't see a lot of fights over like mosh beef anymore.
Yeah,
it's all like people beating the fuck out of each other, and then everyone just taking it.
Yeah, everybody gets it.
Yeah,
it's like it's super duper rare, I think, for everybody to understand, quote unquote.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, as you say, everybody's been beating the shit out of each other, and like nobody gets mad because everybody's like so cool with each other, and everybody knows who's who.
Yeah.
And to where anybody steps out of line, like they're automatically just like the spotlight's on them. Like, you're the fucking idiot.
Yeah, everybody.
You're the problem.
Everybody point and laugh at that person. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like if Josh Hilton got his nose busted during a Course of Demons at whatever.
And he came back to the show, and he was fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was just like, it happens.
It does, especially in such a small, scary environment like parts and labor, especially if you're trying to mosh or whatever. Like, you're gonna get hit there.
You're gonna get hit.
The amount of times I actually got hit while I was just trying to enjoy my grilled cheese sandwich was insane.
You get hit in the back of the head with
straight up. No, during Course of Demons, I was trying to eat, like, trying to time where I could eat in between sets, and it didn't happen. So I'm sitting at the bar trying to eat while they're playing, and I was just getting nailed in the back repeatedly while trying to enjoy my food and still watch them.
So awesome.
It is awesome. This is kind of a general question, but still about the pre-show you guys are on. Is there any particular band you're most excited to see? I'd probably guess Marauder, but
yeah, Marauder's up there for me, but more so Missing Link, just because I've been obsessed with that record since it came out last year. I've been dying to see them again since then. They were awesome when they played Tied Down 2 years ago, I think. But those songs obviously weren't written or released yet. But since that record's come out, I've been dying to see those songs live. So all the newer bands are up there, but also Marauder, because I haven't seen them in forever. So yeah, probably those two for me. Definitely
Cold as Life for me. Mainly because I think it'll be cool to see them at the Magic Stick. There's like several Magic Stick videos of Cold as Life on YouTube that I watch, and I'm like, God, that would be so sick to have. Imagine if I was 20 years older, so I could have been around in '97, to watch that. But yeah, I think this will be cool to to see it now, and to see how much they hate the flashing lights.
I was
on the
gonna
ceiling.
say,
Yeah, it's not the same.
everyone there should
Yeah.
tear down all the fucking LED lights and turn it into 1997.
Yeah.
Like, rip off the lights and beat the fuck out of each other with them.
Yeah.
Like, turn into a straight up riot.
There's one fluorescent bulb over by the fucking pool tables, and the rest is just a mess.
And then it's just pitch black.
Oh, that's
I-
so
Oh,
scary.
that'd be so
We
scary.
should actually like.
Yeah, but then
we should make note of that. Be like, hey, can we turn these lights off, please? Like when we play, I'm saying we should try to be like, hey,
No LEDs.
can we turn these off, please? We might as well try it. We'll see.
Yeah, I just basic lights, just basics, you know.
Just whatever's on the stage behind us is fine.
white light. That's it.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
It's scary because it'll still be daylight a little bit when you guys play. They can,
Yeah, it will be because we'll probably
exactly.
play at like what 5:30, 6
I don't
o'clock,
know.
something like that.
Who
It'll
knows?
still be daylight when we play, which is kind of cool. Like the sun shining in, get a little natural light, a little aura.
Yeah, man.
I think that'll be cool.
Yeah, when I think about it too, though, like cold as life. Like I love Marauder. You know, I love Bayway's my shit.
I bet.
Yeah, I bet you
it makes
bet.
sense. It makes sense for you.
I also keep on forgetting Queensway's playing too,
Queensway's
like
so good.
who I haven't seen since before fucking COVID. So that'll be awesome as well.
Yeah, I've seen them twice since then. I've seen them in Chicago and Brooklyn, and it was cool as fuck both times. Or no, I saw 3 times, and LDB 2022 they played.
Right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and I went to the. It was like a day's Streets of Hate, the showcase,
Yeah,
Triple
yeah.
B thing in Brooklyn, and
Oh, at Monarch.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, and then an MH Chaos album release show in Chicago, which was fucking sick.
I bet.
Was that
I bet you love that.
was that the thing where they did like the
Stupid.
two shows in one day thing, or was that different?
No, that was a Hold My Own one last
Oh,
year.
okay, that's what
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Missing Link did that one too.
Yeah.
I think D-Block.
D-Block and Bad Beat both
yeah,
played.
Yeah, which was like, I heard a lot of people saying that was one of D-Block's like fucking craziest sets ever was in Chicago. And I was like, holy shit, I wasn't there, but
Me neither.
it would have been cool to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, Coldest Live at the Magic Stick, especially with all the lore and legendary stories of the chaos happening.
And
there.
I'm sure Jeff is going to talk about it at some
Oh,
point.
yeah.
I'm sure on the stage he's
I'd
going
be
to.
really disappointed if he didn't. I kind of want story time with Jeff during the speak during
While
in between songs.
Doing the same thing that he did at the Russell, where everybody's just ringing out and it's just feedback, but he's just monologuing.
Awesome.
It would be
Absolutely.
so
That's
awesome.
exactly what I want.
Yeah,
Straight up.
dude, when I watched that, because I watch that video often.
Yeah.
and
It'd be
I've,
so
I've literally
cool.
watched that thing like 20 times since it came out.
Yeah, here's like goosebumps to see like how happy and like fucking grateful, like well, the whole band was, but especially Jeff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like this shit is still here and stronger than ever.
Yeah.
And fucking better than ever, and it's thriving, and it's like a real community. And
It's cool because, like, I'm sure we all kind of feel that same way, you know? Like, I feel super grateful and super happy that it's as strong as it is, you know, our scene currently. Somebody like him to also feel that way is monumental to me. To like, it just proves how good we have it right now, and
Yeah.
we should enjoy it.
Yeah, because like Jeff could like straight up not give a shit, and the fact that like he still pops up to like little local shows and stuff, like
Yeah.
there's little tiny things that were happening at Gatekeepers that I've seen him pop up to that you wouldn't expect him to, you know, to see him at. And it's awesome that he still cares that much because he doesn't have to. He's obviously paid his dues. He's done his time with this scene and everything. So it's cool that he still cares that much to show up, even when like his band isn't playing. Because there's a lot of times older guys that don't care, that only show up when their bands are playing. You
Right.
know,
like old New York band or something comes through.
something
Pretty
like
much,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
straight up, yeah.
Which is cool. Whatever. Everybody's got their own separate life lines they go through, and
Everybody's got different
it
lives.
is cool to see him still be willing and also enthusiastic to contribute
Yeah.
and support at the same time, rather than
Well, even be enthusiastic about new bands, like how much he loves D-Block, how much he's loved, you know, not they're a newer band, they've been around for a while now, but never in the game.
yeah,
You know, for him to even take an interest for bands that are that new is awesome.
yeah.
He's awesome.
He's definitely not doing it for the paycheck, as Rick to Life would say.
Right.
Who?
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm playing. It's funny when he says hardcore for the paycheck. I love it.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, we know by that fucking flea market in his van.
He says about me. I do a podcast for a paycheck. I don't give a fucking.
How much you get? Nothing. You're not.
Like,
You're not doing ads or anything.
Yeah, no,
on here.
you just get to talk to your boys.
Yeah.
That's payment enough.
You talk about shit I like for the paycheck. Like,
Yeah, come on, dude.
I can't squeeze this shit in hardly, man. You know,
Right.
I gotta get a real paycheck. Yeah. Am I right or wrong? You guys, we dropping at least one more song before the thing? I thought Kenny had mentioned maybe. Was that a thing?
It's a surprise.
Oh shit.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right.
We'll let you know.
Let's cut that out.
No, it's fine.
That's fine.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, no.
It's out there now for the.
We'll say maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
If time permits.
Yeah, exactly.
Time permits. Yeah, there's a lot of post shit you got to deal with.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nick.
Yes.
Guitarist. All these songs are written by you.
Not all of them. At least on the EP. The EP I did write all of that years ago. Some of those actually Descent to Dirt. I wrote, I think in like 2012. Because I thought...
Yeah, that was an unused Retribution song.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, no, not that one. Descent to Dirt was, if you remember Chupacabra.
Oh, really? It was that one?
Yeah, like we had broken up in like 2012, I think,
Okay.
and then in like 2013 or 2014, we were talking about getting back together. So I wrote Descent to Dirt for that, and then we just never got back together.
Which one did you write for us, Retribution, that we got reworked for Stop at Nothing?
Actually, none of the ones that are on the EP. There's
Oh,
one.
really?
There's
There's
one.
one
I
that
have
we have
one
on
in
the back
I have
burner?
one in the
Okay.
bank that was 1,000%
Okay, so
for Retribution.
hopefully in the near future you'll be hearing a formerly unfinished Retribution song,
but yeah,
which will now be a Stop at Nothing song.
Exactly. But anyways, we have. I just looked at our Dropbox today, and we have like 14 songs, but like Lyric wrote like he wrote like half of them. So it's not. I'm not writing everything anymore. We're both presenting ideas and then running it through each other's filter, which is awesome because like I don't want to write everything all the time, you know, and I want to get other people's input. But yeah, I've written like half of them and he's written another half of those 14. I don't know when we'll get. I think like 6 of them are done musically, if I had to guess.
I'm lazy and haven't written lyrics, and
yeah,
I need to, sit down and actually do that. That's my problem.
Yeah, get it together, man. But no, yeah, we have plenty of stuff. We want to take our time with it, make sure that it all works, make sure that it all feels right, and then once it's out, it's out. So I don't think we'll ever be like, hey, we got new stuff next week or whatever. Like it'll just be like, midnight on a Tuesday. Here you go. Surprise. Yeah, exactly. I think that's the best way to do it anyways. But
it's always fun to waking up on like Christmas. You're like, oh shit, Stop at Nothing song dropped.
Yeah, and
you'll be happy.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I hope whenever we do get to that point, obviously we're all preoccupied. We have the Tied Down pre-show to focus on. Like we really want that to be as good as possible. Lyric's got D-Block, Jake's got Big Deal. Like we've all got stuff going on. So
on top of just work,
just being a human, So eventually we'll have stuff out, and I hope you guys like it. If you guys like riffs, then you're gonna like it, I think. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, if you like a riff, you'll like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. Yeah. Well, I mean, you said some of the shit you've been sitting on is pretty old. Like,
oh yeah.
Well, the one song you said you had that you thought was 2012. Have you? Was it just like written and put away, or like do you go back? Like you think of something could have been better, like will you fix it, then like re-record it? And you're
yes.
Like, oh wait, no, something pops in the middle of your head.
Yes.
In the middle of the day, and then you're like, I have to fix that.
Yes. So the story with the Descent to Dirt specifically, I wrote it for my first band that I joined was Chupacabra. After we had already broken up and talked about getting back together, I recorded all of the riffs in GarageBand, and then I sent them to Will from the Never Ending Game, Will Kalen. I sent it to him, and he put programmed drums over it because I didn't know how to do it at the time. And then I sat on it forever because obviously we didn't get back together. And then, yes, I revisited it, however long ago, a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago, like
when we first started talking. Technically 2.5 years ago now, but I revisited it. I changed some stuff around, added some stuff, moved stuff. I do that with anything that I have in the bank that I think will work for whatever, band I'm a part of. I will go back and revisit and move stuff around and add and subtract and blah, blah, blah to make sure that it fits whatever I'm doing, Yeah, I think that's it. That's all. That's just what I do. I don't know.
Yeah, I could just, if it was me, like, I'm so, like, dumb in the head. If I was going through it in my head, like, oh, wait, that'd be way cooler, I'd probably, like, say it into my phone, like do, like, a riff, like, with my mouth.
Oh, my God, I hate doing that, though. Like, it's
this.
so
humming a riff in
it's so
in your notes.
Even, dude, even doing it, like, in my car or in my office at work with the door closed, like, even, it doesn't matter where.
Making sure none of your coworkers are around.
Yeah, but even then, even when nobody can hear me, I'm still like, this is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done. Like, I hate doing it. I've been better about it lately because I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I know I'm going to forget this if I don't jot it down somehow. So I just started doing it finally. But there are so many riffs I've thought of over the years that are just gone forever because I didn't.
God, I wonder how good our band could be if you actually remembered this shit.
Wow, you don't think our band is good? That's crazy, dude.
You gotta jam the riffs into your nose.
Oh my God.
Imagine doing like a solo, like.
Yeah, I would hate that. Well, because I already hate hearing my own voice. Imagine me making riff noises.
Well, shit, it's like do you know the thing with the John Tesh story of Round Ball Rock, the NBA and NBC theme?
No.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know this? Okay,
yeah.
The story is he had it stuck in his head, but he couldn't get to a piano to like record a demo or anything. This is before we had voice notes and everything. He only had his machine at home. So he called his home phone and did that. He dun into his
he mouthed it into his own answering machine.
Into his answering machine at home because it's fucking 1993 or whatever when he came up with it.
He was also, I think if I remember right, he was in his car. Like he was driving home, wasn't he?
I don't know about that.
Oh no, okay. Maybe.
But I know the story was that he didn't have a way to actually record
it at the time.
Actually get the idea down, but he needed to get the idea down, so fucking answering machine it was.
Yep.
Yeah, do what you gotta do, man. I don't blame him.
Yeah, me neither. Because now they have one of the greatest themes of all time.
Yeah, now it's coming back. NBA and NBC next season.
Oh shit! I don't watch basketball.
Oh, come on, man. The Pistons are doing great this year.
Are they?
They're about to play on playoffs for the first time in 8 seasons, I think.
Really?
I think it was 2019 was the last season that
something
they
like
made
that.
It.
Wow,
Yeah.
dude, I haven't watched a game since like the 03, 04 shit.
They're
good again.
The good days, the good old days.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't name one fucking player this.
That's
season.
fine.
Yeah. They're not from 2004. If they ain't Rip Hamilton or the guy
Rasheed Wallace.
Ben
Wallace.
And Rasheed. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's boring now, isn't it?
Basketball. There are too many fouls.
NBA rather.
Too many fouls are called. But the other thing is 3-point shooting has gotten better. That's why it's
so boring. Everybody's shooting from outside the
everyone's shooting 3
line.
points, so the scores are like astronomical. That an average game is like 120 points when like breaking 100 used to actually mean something back in the day.
Nobody shoots from inside the paint. Nobody shoots inside the arch. Nobody shoots anywhere except for the 3-point line and half court.
So athletes have gotten better, but at the same time they also get more help because more shooting fouls are called. So that inflates shit too.
There's no defense.
They don't let it be as physical as it used to be, and I kind of miss that aspect of the game. So that's why a lot of people don't watch basketball anymore.
Well,
fuck them. We got hockey, so
hockey's still physical. Watch that.
Yeah, if hockey's still good, so.
Hockey. I just came across somebody sent me something. I never heard of it till today. It's like a Russian. It's like hockey players, but they just like a fist fight on ice. It's like ice skating like boxing, but it's
Oh,
knuckle.
I've seen shit
that's
like that.
crazy.
Yeah, it's in Eastern
Right.
Europe or whatever.
Yeah.
They come up with the weirdest fucking shit over there, man. There's something I watched where it was like Team 5 versus 5 MMA.
yeah, that
And
was awesome.
if you end up finishing someone, then you're allowed to jump other guys.
You're allowed to fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
if you
2v1.
knock out or submit
Yeah.
someone,
Oh,
they're
shit.
eliminated. So then you can 2v1 one of the other guys. It's insane.
That's
Yeah.
badass.
There's also the ice football. Have you seen
I
that?
still, yeah, in Germany.
Yeah,
I've
it's
never seen that.
Dude,
it's straight up.
rough.
It's American football on ice,
On
but they're
skates.
not using using
Not
skates. They're on shoes.
Oh fuck.
So they're just you can see that they're running, but they're like they're running in place because they're trying to get
or
traction.
busting their ass probably.
Yeah. Oh my
That
god,
would
it's
be
so good.
interesting. Yeah, that'd be really interesting. Like,
Yeah, if you love gambling, you should look into that sport and gamble on that.
God, I hope that's not a FanDuel listing.
I don't like
Prob-
gambling, man. I went to the casino last week because I was feeling it. I just woke up, felt lucky. You know, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then I had some paperwork at work where I had to add up some a weight on 2 bills going on my trailer, and it was 777 that came out. And then I was going down the road by fucking Fire Keepers in Battle Creek.
Yeah.
777 there. I was like, I gotta go to the casino.
It's time, and then you lost.
How much?
money.
How much did you lose, Rob?
I don't gamble much. Like $70.
You lose
Okay,
you lost
that ain't too bad.
$777. That was the sign. Is that you were gonna lose that much
$70.
money?
I was like, fuck that. I was like, I'm done. I was like, I'll go buy some fucking weed at the dispensary, get more use out of
There you go.
it.
Probably feel a lot happier after that
Yeah.
than
Yeah,
losing
exactly.
money.
Yeah, I was like, this is fucking bullshit. Of course I lose. Like, I've never won in any Detroit casino ever.
Really?
And I don't gamble often, but I've won in Vegas, in Ohio, West Virginia, fucking Battle Creek. You know, won like $2,000 at Gatekeepers. Or sorry, Fire Keepers.
There's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different shop.
Yeah. But yeah, fuck, man. Out of all 3 in Detroit, I've never won. I've never gone home positive or even. It's a lose.
Always negative.
Yeah.
Insane.
Well, it is designed, in fact, for you to lose your money. So
Yeah. Yeah, so they're mad, just like watching all these people just fucking
Hit-
$3,
hitting-
$5,
hitting
fucking
jackpots.
dollars. Like,
well, how depressing is it watching people that just spend hours there just throwing in like thousands of dollars?
yeah, and
like,
the bitch next to you is just hitting, having a good time. Like, you fucking bitch. $380 off of 25 cents. Like, fuck you. Like, you just get up and leave. Like,
Right.
And then, like, sometimes you don't even feel safe in like a fucking Detroit casino. You're like, this place is hood as fuck after like 10 o'clock. I was like, I gotta get out of here, man.
it just depends on other times what else is going on downtown too.
Yeah.
When like if it gets too crowded, if there's a big event happening, like I tried going to when March Madness was here in 2009. I tried going to Greektown for whatever fucking stupid reason around then, and it was fucking madness.
Yeah.
Because the regular crowd was there, and then all these fucking out-of-towners, and then people were just being awful humans to each other on top of that.
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah. Greektown on a Friday is definitely. I keep my head on a swivel at Greektown, but that's just me. To be aware of your surroundings.
Yep.
There. We're talking fucking gambling when we're supposed to be talking hardcore.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is.
But, I mean, gambling is part of hardcore. I mean,
You're
listen
right.
to fucking Razzle Dazzle. So
yeah. If you're not part of Detroit hardcore, you're not a fucking degenerate gambler. I was gonna say something. Nick.
Yeah, what's up?
Nicholas.
That's me.
You were in bands. Did you move away from here for a little while and you moved back
I did. Yeah.
to Texas or something?
Yeah, like I think it was July of 2019.
Did you go to any shows there? Let's throw that into.
I went to like 3 shows while I was down there. So admittedly, I had checked out of hardcore because I just was like super bummed about how things were going around here at that time. So I checked out. I feel like I've made peace with it at this point. You know, I'll get there. I checked out. I moved to Texas. I wasn't super interested in shows. I really only went to shows that like friends in bands were playing at that time. But they were all out of state friends. So I only went to like 3 or 4 shows down there. One of them was like, I think one of them was Sanction and See You Space Cowboy, whatever tour that was. And then I saw it was Terror. It was Terror and Kublai Khan was the tour, and then Bitter End like opened the show, I think. And sang with Sugar Bog. I think that was the tour.
Yeah, that was the Pain and the Power.
Yeah,
Release.
never
The
in the game
release
played
tour.
the Midwest shows on that one.
Yeah.
Truth was on it too. Did they play that one?
I don't remember. I don't think
They
so.
were in Detroit and.
Okay.
why.
Yeah, I think
I
there was,
gotcha.
there was a split in the tour where
Leg,
like
Yeah.
someone dropped on and then other people dropped off because like Pain and Truth and Never Ending Game played like our leg of that tour.
Yeah, Magic City.
I do remember too the one show that I went to right before the pandemic. It was the Acacia Strain, Rotting Out, and Chamber, I think.
Yeah.
And then there was
Huh.
one other. I think there was one other band on the tour. I don't really remember. I don't remember because it was a long time ago. But yeah, I went to a few shows down there. But nothing like super spectacular because I was, like I said, I was checked out. I was listening to weird music. Like I was listening to like Russian Circles and ISIS, and that's all I cared about at that time. And then the pandemic happened. Easily the worst time of my life, but I did meet Amanda. So shout out to Amanda for putting up with me for as long as she did, because the first couple years, you know, that of us knowing each other, but like that first year and a half of the pandemic was not super great for me. But I won't, you know, it's not that crazy of a story. It was terrible just being alone.
That would,
You know,
I think we can all agree universally.
Yeah.
Probably the worst 2 years of our like
Oh.
lives.
Well, feeling isolated, then actually being
Then actually-
isolated,
yeah.
it really sucks.
'Cause
You're
that-
in your head, like you're in your head, and then you can't actually do anything.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. So don't
And it was
dive in.
also
Yeah.
on top of that too. Like I had just moved to Texas. Like
Right, you're
I'm
already
from
isolated 3 times in your own head.
Oh,
you're in
dude.
Texas, and then you really can't. Go
dude.
anywhere.
Yeah, and I
It sucks.
and I only had like 4 friends down there. And when the pandemic started, within 4 months of the pandemic, all of them moved back to their respective states.
Oh.
So it was like, it was me and Amanda for 2 years basically. I didn't really hang out with anybody else, and it was crazy. I'll just say that. But I'm grateful that she stuck around. I'm grateful that she kept hanging out with me because she's great. And we're supposed to be talking about hardcore, Rob. What's going on here?
Well,
No,
no,
I'm
about
jo-
you.
I know I'm
Oh,
joking.
you were in Texas. Oh yeah.
I'm joking.
Oh.
But yeah,
It's your story, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Story. Which
What-
is
what-
leading
what
up to
brought you
something.
back?
Well, what brought me back was I didn't want to be in Texas anymore. It's too expensive, way too hot. 114 degrees for like 7 months out of the year. The snowpocalypse happened too, like
I forgot about that.
right as you think that the pandemic is ending, and then it snows in Texas for the
And
first
then no one
time in 30
Dallas
years.
or Austin owns a winter coat.
Oh my god, it was so many terrible things. So many terrible things happened that I was like, I need to get out of here. So I moved back up here like July of 2023. Didn't tell anybody. I just didn't tell anybody that I was moving back home. And then I ran into Kenny at a DCFC game, match, whatever you want to call it.
Both work.
Yeah, I ran into him at a DCFC match, and he was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "I moved home." And he's like, "Why didn't you tell anybody?" And I said, "I don't know. I didn't think anybody would care." And then we just started hanging out again. And then he was like, "You actually said
Yeah, at
that within 30 minutes of us like talking again, he was like, "Let's start a band."
Yeah.
it's straight up. That's the beginning
Yeah.
of Stop at Nothing. It's a DCFC match and be like, "Oh, so you're home?
Let's
start
start a
our band."
And I was like,
"Fuck it."
Yeah.
Sweet, which is funny because the first iteration of it that I had the ideas for, since I was still writing like really crappy riffs, well, I hadn't even played my guitar for most of the pandemic, I'll be completely honest, because I was just like, I'm done with music, I don't care anymore. But then I started writing for this, and I was like, you know what, this is actually kind of sick. But it started with me writing like Bury Your Dead riffs, and he was like, I don't want to do that. And I was like, that makes sense. So then
Well, no, that's not what you and I collectively like. Like, we're very much like all or integrity ringworm. Like, that is the shit you and I
and once
meet on.
yeah, he told me that after I sent him a couple videos of like riffs that I'd written that were clearly not that. They were just bad 2004 metalcore riffs. He was like, how about you listen to Earth Crisis again? Like, how about you go back over here? And I was
Add
like,
a little wang in this.
yeah, I was like, you know what? That's probably a good idea. So then I started doing that instead, and now here we are. Well, I mean, I did try to write like Hope Conspiracy type riffs too, when Andy and Josh were gonna do it, but that didn't work.
Nope.
So we didn't want to do that either. We didn't want to play power chord
I think
hardcore.
it's better the way it turned out, anyways. Like I don't think especially with the lineup we have now that would have went well.
Right.
So.
And absolutely no disrespect to Josh and Andy. We love both of those guys. We just didn't want to do that sound. So we just said, let's just do Slayer, but hardcore.
Yes.
And now here we are.
What's good? And what I think leading up to is we kind of had that conversation at Tie Down last year. We were standing outside in the back, and I remember you saying like after you moved back because you were like you felt the way you felt when you were there, and you moved back and started going to shows and started a band. Like,
oh yeah,
and you felt better, like you felt like grounded, like coming back to hardcore,
straight
and
up
with your friends.
Yeah, because like I remember I didn't come to any shows when I moved home, except for I think I came to Cave-In came to the Sanctuary. I went to that, and then a few months later, Buried Alive came to the Sanctuary, and then I went to that. But that's like kind of like how do I describe it? Like an old head that dropped out finds out that Biohazard's playing their local
coming out of the woodwork.
Coming out, yeah, thank you. I came out of the woodwork for Buried Alive, and I was like, this is cool, but this isn't like I don't care. Then I went to Tie Down 2023, and I was like, oh my god, like this is what it's about. I felt like I rediscovered hardcore a second time, which doesn't seem like it should be possible. Like most people, they discover it and then it changes their lives and then they just ride that forever. I felt like I rediscovered it, or like I discovered hardcore twice, and I've cherished that. I will cherish that forever because it was straight up. I think I told you it was like a magical moment for me to feel that good again, being at something that involved hardcore. And then from then on, I was like, yeah, it's over. Like it's over. I'm back in. Like I gotta be a part of this again. So now I'm just going to everything that I can. So
no, man, I know what you're saying because I've said it before here, but never to you. Like I took a few years off. Probably 7 years. This guy. You never stopped going.
Oh well, yeah. I also didn't have fucking children and shit like that. Like your priorities definitely changed.
I still had the fucking guilt though, which you said you felt like you wrote it off. But I'm sure in the back of your head you're like,
oh, I felt guilty.
Cool.
Yeah, I felt guilty. 100%.
The old head who came back, same for fucking me. And I didn't have any friends. Like everybody who I went to shows with.
Yeah.
Like I was never in any bands. I'm just a fucking nobody. Like I went to Annie Up's release for that time, TIME or whatever time, and Never Ending Gameplay. That's the first time I seen them. It was December of 2019. I went to see Agnostic Front and H2O. I was like, yeah, pandemic hits.
Yep.
And so I was like, well, that
cut the knees right out from under you.
Yeah. I was like, and I even said to myself, like, I fucking can't wait. I'm gonna start fucking people up at shows and having fun and meeting all the people who, and then it is boom.
Yep.
Taken away, and then I don't know. Listen to some other podcasts like Joe Hardcore started his, and that Brooklyn Blast Furnace guy did his. I was like, that'd be fucking cool. Like I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
There's not like anything around here. I don't know anybody, so fuck, I'm nobody judging.
Just gonna start talking. Yeah, just start talking.
Talking shit.
Yeah.
Just to see like how open everybody was to like the idea of like yeah, I'll come talk about some band if nobody gave a fuck about you 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I cared, so let's talk some shit. And,
I love that we now have like a Detroit hardcore like media community, but like
insane.
Between what you're doing and between what Lyric and Brian are doing and stuff like that, and photographers, what have you. It's funny seeing like how there's like this media like not conglomerate, but stuff like.
Yeah, I was gonna make the joke that like yeah, it's great that we have photographers, but guys, stop buying cameras and start buying drumsticks.
More drummers. Again, reiterating the point. More drummers.
Please, for the love of God.
And not that we got enough photographers. Stop bugging Curtis and Jimmy for photo passes tied down.
Yes, please stop doing that.
They got enough people that are very talented and do a very good job, and
just enjoy the show.
Take photos better than you. Just either I don't give a shit.
I know. I enjoy the show. Please, just you can
get in the pit, kick someone, or grab a mic,
get in the pit and try to love someone,
or fucking get behind a drum kit.
Like straight up, like please feel free to bring a camera. Just don't expect to be handed a media pass just because you asked for it. Like you can take pictures from the crowd. We still love that. Like you can't. How many fucking Instagram accounts have you seen where they're posting pictures of shows that happened in the 90s and they're just in the crowd? Like that's awesome. I would rather see that person's perspective of like, oh, I saw this show as a person, like that's awesome. Just take the pictures from the crowd.
More bring disposable cameras back at shows.
Or that, yeah.
Do that shit. Like there's like apps even that look like disposable cameras. Take more pictures like that because some of that shit looks so fucking raw and awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what hardcore's raw. Hardcore should be raw. It's always been raw. It should be raw. Let's make it raw. That's it.
What do you think about the old people coming with like their videotape camcorders?
Oh, I love it.
I love it. The VHS camcorders, I fucking love it.
Of course you do with the filter, but it's cool because you're fucking taking it back.
Yeah, straight up.
Analog media is still here apparently.
It's
and and like anybody that does bring that stuff, like I will make sure I'll do my best to make sure that stuff doesn't get damaged. Yeah. Because like that is cool. Like please do that more often.
More fisheye lens.
Yeah, more fisheye.
Right.
Fisheye hardcore. Let's go. Sorry, what was? I forgot the question. We derailed again.
I don't think there was a question. We're just.
You're just asking how he feels about
how he feels coming back.
Yeah. Doing analog like media and stuff that.
And we were talking about Tied Down 2023. But yeah, I told you already that that was what reignited my love for it all, was seeing Tied Down being as good as it was, and then just like going to local shows beyond that point and being like, holy shit, this feels so good. I can't describe it any better than that. Like going to shows now it feels better than it did 10 years ago because everybody cares. Everybody's involved. Everybody loves everybody. There's like no shit talking really. It's just we all like each other's bands and there's so many of us.
There's something that feels like more cathartic about shows these days than they did when I was a teenager. I don't know what it is. Like
a pandemic.
That
probably
honestly,
living through a pandemic.
There it is. Like going through the pandemic and also thinking at one point in 2020, like, oh shit, I'll never be able to have this again.
Yeah, life is over.
Like how are we ever gonna get back to people jumping on each other's heads and a pile on or anything like that, or singing along to like my favorite songs. So I guess that I think. Universally, there's kind of like a rebirth in that thing where everything feels very cathartic again. But also just like the fact that Detroit has kind of become more recognized by outside scenes. In
everybody,
the last few years.
Everybody, everywhere.
Like everyone has always talked about New York, Boston, L.A., D.C.
Shit, even Chicago's gotten more notoriety than we have.
People talk about these scenes and just like, why can't Detroit be the center of the hardcore universe? And I think coming out of the pandemic and immediately having something like Tied Down and just having awesome bands one after the other and bands getting on big labels, Never Ending Game and Bad Beat being on Triple B, stuff like that. It's cool that we've started within the last couple of years really become like recognized as like a capital of hardcore,
That reminds me too. Never Ending Game and Bad Beat being signed to whatever label or whatever. Even though D Block is like technically not signed to like a major label, Amanda was actually the one to show me D Block when I was living in Austin. Amanda knew. Amanda's from North Carolina and then she moved to Denver and then moved to Austin. So she has never been to Detroit, or until she moved up here, obviously. But she had never been to Detroit. She didn't listen to Detroit bands. But somehow she was the one to show me D Block, and I'm like, that is crazy. In hindsight, especially, it's like, this is nuts that she knew about D Block is crazy to me. So they have a reach, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
You know. They don't need to be signed to a major label because they're getting
Quad Records taking over.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the other thing is regional, like local labels, too, like popping up here. Like
And Petty Theft.
Shout out Petty Theft.
Shout out Petty Theft. Shout out Top Floor. Jimmy's done incredible things for us and a lot of bands from around here. Shout out Collide. That's another thing that I think is awesome is how many labels from around here have started to take off as well. So Total Supply, Bert Harold's doing great stuff with that as well.
Fucking fast hardcore. Welcome back.
Yep.
Straight up. Yeah.
It's interesting to see like the highs and lows, and the question always was, a year or two after the pandemic, like how long will this last? Like the thriving, like the high tide for hardcore, especially in Detroit, and it doesn't seem like there's any.
It hasn't slowed down.
It has slowed down. No, it's been
like 3 or granted, I wasn't around in 2022, but like from what people tell me,
just full swing, just the pendulum came back.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years now of just foot on the gas pedal all the way down.
It's been coming out of the pandemic and the birth of like Tied Down and Edgeman taking off and stuff like that. And it's been nonstop. It's been one band after the other. Guys that have been in bands forever starting new bands and it being the best thing I think that they've ever been a part of. Like Escalation of Forts. TJ's
shit.
I've been watching TJ play in bands for the last almost 20 years, and the fact that he's still doing like insane shit, especially with that band, blows my mind.
God, that shit's so hard. It's
fucking ridiculously hard,
dude. It's so good.
I can't wait to hear more.
I believe they're recording an EP soon, so hopefully, I can't wait to hear that.
Same.
It's interesting, and he's very, very particular with the way his shit sounds. So,
yes, very meticulous, and I that's what, like, get your shit out, obviously, but also like take time, like. Make sure your stuff sounds good. I love how meticulous those individuals are.
Yeah,
hone the craft.
There is so much, and everybody's so great. There's not really any bad bands, but to rise above and not just with your own personal name, but for the music that you put out is also important. Rather, everybody loves that guy, so we love his band, even though it could not be great.
Well, no, that's the thing. It's like even if
I have to be good. I don't care if I like you. If your band's not great.
Reputation doesn't matter. If your band sucks, your band sucks.
Yeah.
No, that's why it's great. Is like there's so many good bands out. Like even if I wasn't friends with a lot of the people that we're friends with that are doing good bands, I would still really fucking love these bands. And I know it's more and more. I'm listening to more local stuff than I am listening to more nationally known stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Like if I see a new band or one of our friends or whatever, someone local putting out either a new demo, new 7-inch, whatever, I am more likely to listen to that than another big band. Like, not saying I definitely still check out other stuff, but I'm way more stoked on stuff that's happening locally than I am outside of Detroit.
I think to piggyback off of that was one of the reasons that I felt like I quote unquote dropped out. Not quote unquote, I did drop out, but like I stopped caring so much about the local stuff and started caring more about the national stuff. And then once the national stuff didn't like quote, impress me anymore, then I had completely fallen away from the local stuff. So then I was like, well, then what am I doing here? So then I left and came back. And now that's one of the lessons that I feel like I've learned, like, and I will hold on to forever is like the local stuff matters.
So
like
important.
the local stuff is way more important. You need like the stuff that is coming out from where you're from is more important than what's coming out in Germany or even in Boston or whatever.
Like you should still check that stuff out, but you should pay attention to the stuff that's in your own
exactly.
backyard.
Like
First and foremost.
because
Put the
there's
work
stuff
here.
there is stuff happening here that is good, and it's been there the whole time. I'm well aware of that now, but it's nice to know that like I care more about our local scene than I've ever cared before, and I will ride that high as long as I possibly can, because I just love this shit. I sound like a broken record, but like I'm so happy to see this happening. That's it.
Preaching to the choir, man.
Straight up.
Especially Kenny, like I said, he's never left. He's been here since day fucking one.
I'm
Since his day one,
hopelessly addicted for the last
But-
almost 25 years.
He's
You
a
got people
masochist.
like you with, who would think that there's like wisdom and knowledge in hardcore, but there is. You've seen all types of faces come and go, and the worst of the worst, and the best of friends who are loyal, and fucking backstabbers and shitty people.
They're all sorts of walks of life that have come through Detroit hardcore in the last quarter
20
century.
years.
Yeah.
yeah, but like I said, you've seen it all, and like you're one who's you've never
You're-
changed as a person, man. You've always been the same, down to earth. Pretty much welcoming. And you give everybody a shot if you haven't heard anything bad, and that's one thing about you, man. You're fucking just down for it.
Well, and
He is down. You are the definition of down for life
I get,
with a Y.
and I get to think like, I try to be as welcoming as I can. Obviously, people bring up like the whole term gatekeeping and stuff like that. And I feel like you can gatekeep to a point, but it's more so you should guide people into what they're doing right or doing wrong, or give them constructive criticism, and if they don't listen, then whatever, that's
Then
how I
you
feel
kick
about
them
that.
out.
Then you kick them
Well,
out.
you're gonna find out eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
Honestly, yeah.
And I don't. That's one thing I don't understand. And a scene that's so predicated on unity and everything like that, you'll get certain people that come in here and just create drama, useless drama, and I have no time for people that are like that.
Yep.
And that's where my limit is. I will be welcome to everyone else until I figure out that they are the problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most of the time they can dig their own grave, and it comes out. someone normally sniffs it out, but everyone's like, well, let's just see. They're like, oh yeah,
Let
you're
it
right.
let it play out.
Yeah.
And then it plays out, and
Yeah,
you're
then
like,
they're like,
oh
oh.
yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, we shouldn't have given that person a pass.
Yeah, we should not have given them the pass. But yeah,
It all.
but yeah, that's one thing I want to say too about the gatekeeping thing is like, it's cool if you found out about hardcore from a band like Kublai Khan. It's cool if you find out about hardcore from a band like Knocked Loose, but you have to understand that it all came from somewhere, and it's up to us, like the old heads, if you want to call it that. It's up to the old heads, and it's up to everybody to be like, that's cool that you found this, but maybe check out Agnostic Front so you know where it came from.
Yeah.
you know,
don't have to listen to it, but know it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
At
Know where Minor Threat came from.
Respect
Know where.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You got to at least know where Bad Brains came from, and you got to know this, and this, because like, if you're just listening to Knock Loose and you think that's what hardcore is, then there's a whole other world that you could be a part of. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to us to. People like us, I should say.
Well, no, that like those dudes that Knock Loose, they have other bands, like they have Inclination, they have Weapon X, they have all these bands that hopefully, if you're Knock Loose is your gateway, then you get into other bands that they're in. And
Exactly.
you check out more stuff that's on LDB, or you look through their liner notes and you see bands you don't recognize. Like that was my whole thing. My whole gateway was like seeing Hatebreed and thank you and the thank yous for like
Biohazard.
record.
Listen to
Or something like
Biohazard.
that, yeah.
Something
Stuff
like
like that. Like we all have our gateway stuff, but the thing is to keep searching. Like don't just stop at like a surface level band. You should keep digging below that.
Streaming kind of ruined that, because like
See,
physical copies have those liner notes in there, whereas like if you just see a record on Spotify, you're not getting the thank yous,
that's true.
So
Which is funny because streaming has also made it more accessible to discover a lot of these bands too, though. So it's like
it's made it easier to discover, but because it's so easy, a lot of people aren't taking the initiative to find it. if that makes sense.
But
But
you want to know what? Fuck these kids. They didn't have to search through Mediafire links and fucking
LimeWire.
LimeWire.
Yeah,
Fucking,
get all fucked up, ruined
fucking
it.
badass.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, you're
Dude,
blowing up your computer trying to download these
a 56K modem.
this is
Dude,
fucking
I-
Earth Crisis record.
I can't remember what record it was, but there's one I had a bad download of something off LimeWire,
Slither.
something like that. But there was you can tell it was like a 56K modem thing, where somehow the phone signal, like the busy signal or whatever, or the dial-up noise,
Oh yeah.
got onto the download.
Holy
That's
So
awesome.
in the song, you hear straight up, you hear that on the fucking
Dude, that
riff.
probably made it harder.
It's awesome.
It probably made that record sound cooler.
Yeah, that'd be a cool intro. Just a dial-up modem.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, you don't know hard times till you had
Till you had
dial-up.
this.
Yeah.
Did you have dial up, you fucking idiot?
Yeah, I'm going to a breakdown. But yeah, look, man, we're 1 hour on the button right now. So
Oh, I can keep talking. If you have more I
If
don't
you
know how
have
many-
more you want to talk about, Rob, we're
Yeah, if you have
Yeah.
more questions, I'm down. Let's
I
keep
really don't have any questions. Like, I just had some on my notes to keep the conversation flowing. That's
Well
all I
then,
do.
yeah, if you have more, let's get through them. Even if you got one more, let's whatever however many you got, we're here.
Okay. The sense of this is part of the however many bands I can get from Tied Down before
the run up to Tied Down
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Terror
let's,
Zone, motherfucker.
Is there anything to you guys out of all the fests you've been into and everything that makes Tied Down stand out compared to other fests that you've attended or have seen online, or So it's kind of an open-ended question, I guess.
The first thing immediately that comes to mind is the fact that it's in Detroit. That's
Yeah, I don't have to travel
straight up.
anywer.
Yeah,
It's 20 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
because that was also one of the reasons
20
that
minutes,
that was one of the reasons that I kept or that I kind of quit coming to shows was like all of the tours that I wanted to see kept skipping Detroit.
Yeah, you have to go an hour out of the way.
Yeah, like they would keep going to either Grand Rapids or they would just go straight to Chicago.
Mhm.
And I'm like, why does this keep happening? Like, this sucks. Like, why is everything just going right past us? So now to see that Tied Down is in Detroit, like literally in Detroit, that number one is like, that's what makes it stand out to me, because it's Detroit. You never would have expected this to happen here,
Like a destination,
Yeah,
hardcore city.
straight up. And now it's here, and
We have casinos too, so come see bands and then lose all your fucking money.
yeah, straight up.
And go to Lafayette, Coney Island, because it's back open, baby.
Yeah, get some fucking rat.
Yeah, get some rat dogs.
Yeah, right, dogs.
The one thing that stands out for me, like compared to, and this isn't to slander any other fest because I've been to a bunch, throughout the years. I truly think Tied Down is one of the most, probably the best well planned, as far as cool ass venue. The layout's awesome. Food trucks are awesome. Where the merch is set up, there's cool spots to hang out. You don't feel like you're necessarily in fucking hardcore prison or something like that. Like,
Just fucking
Yeah,
nuts
like
to
the
butt.
no re-entry thing.
and I think that's one thing is, with Curtis and Jimmy, our hardcore kids, they
They get it.
they book things the way is like, what would I want to see out of a show? What would I want to see out of a fest? What bands would I want to see? How would I want it ordered? And they do it. They fucking do it, and it's awesome that it's been. This is what year? This is year 4?
This is year
4.
This is year 4, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, 4 years of this, and it keeps getting better.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I was gonna say the number one thing so the number two thing is what makes it stand out. Every show is done by like 10:30.
True.
Like Saturday and Sunday, bands are done by 10:30, which is unheard of for a fest.
Which is awesome because I usually work the Monday after Tied Down, and I know a lot of people take that as days off. I typically don't, so I go back to work that morning.
Yeah.
And
Whereas
thank you, Jimmy and Curtis.
thank you for that, because I've been to plenty of other fests where
they
they're
take into account for sure.
yeah, bands are playing until 12:30 at night on a Sunday. Even if they do it on a Saturday, I'm gonna be there for 12 hours the next day. Like, I don't want to be there until 12:30. You know, so it's just that one for sure. The time is awesome.
You get to meet to that point. It's to the point where I'm like, man, I'm starting to hate hardcore.
Yeah, and you don't want that.
No.
Especially in a fest where there's 4 days of hardcore. Like, you don't want that. You don't want to be overwhelmed with it, unless you're a true psychopath, which more respect to you then, if you actually want that. But I like to be in my bed at 10:30. So, yeah.
And there's one thing I'd like to say about it that I'm going to get shit for it if this happens, but this is the 4th year. It has not rained yet.
Oh, God damn it. You just cursed
Yeah, you
us,
just
Rob.
jinxed
You
it.
motherfucker.
God damn it, Rob.
I know, that's why I said I'm going to get shit if this happens, but I got to say it. I hope not.
Even if it does,
See,
there's so
all
much
the
room.
weed smokers, including yourself, are going to be fucking pissed because
Oh, yeah.
you guys can't smoke outside.
Yeah. Fuck.
But even if it does, there's so much room.
Yeah.
There's so much
We're
room.
still
Yeah.
not on top of each other. Like,
Exactly.
does it last, even if it's sold out, it still seems like it lasts,
The last third, like,
the
does
third or eighth. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what
They could fit another 1,000
For
people if
sure
they
they
wanted
could.
to, and I'm thankful that they
don't.
don't
Yeah.
because, good God Almighty, I don't want to deal with that.
Ugh, no, fucking front to back would really suck.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, and they definitely have had their chance to study other fests and see how they operate and how their hospitality for the bands or a food situation or even getting people in the door before the first band. They've all
that's
important.
super important
Yeah.
because most times, most fests, the opener is a local. So if people are still waiting in line, that local is playing to a small percentage of
They're
the
playing to
people.
20 people.
Yeah, which is terrible. It feels terrible. Like, I've been there. It sucks. Like, I'm glad that they put emphasis on get all these people in here now. Now we start.
Yeah, scan their shit, get the wristband on,
get it moving.
Hopefully, I've seen other fests do it where they'll have a meeting spot the day before,
Come pick up your wristband. Yeah, I've noticed that too.
go
I
to
think
this
LDB
bar.
does something like that now.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, because that was fucked the year I went to LDB 2022. It was Weapon X's first show, and everybody knew who they were because I think they had dropped their demo before that. So everyone was like, "Oh," and there's only 30 people in there because they had a third party security. People
That's always
had
a problem.
Fucking idea what was going on.
That's
Curtis knows. He does you Crowfoot people or
he always has
whoever it is.
people.
They
It's
know
always
what's up.
Crowfoot and
Yeah.
Edgeman people at the door for the most part. You have your security check, but as far as actually getting your wristband stuff, it's usually people that Curtis and Jimmy trust to
know.
get people to fuck in. So everything runs smoothly.
Even if they're not corpsmen, they are people who know how these shows work.
Yeah.
So they are
They're at least core
Harpo's
adjacent.
crew.
yeah. Oh yeah. Jesus Christ,
We'll
Harpo.
kick your ass.
Yeah, well, I'll fucking no. They're all kind people.
Yeah.
But they also know we need this is how we do things. Get in the door. Just go. Just
Have
get
your
in.
shit out.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Everyone else can get
And that's
in.
enough to everyone attending. If you're coming and you have a backpack, just have that shit open so you get in the door quicker.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're holding up.
This is your first time at a show? Come on now.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
What else you got?
that's pretty much it. I know it's gonna be a good time this year.
It's just the same.
And, with everybody, with as strong as the scene is, and as supported as you guys are, and how hard you guys support other bands, everybody else in your band, you guys definitely deserve that
Thank
spot
you.
on that show, in my opinion.
Is it okay if I plug something for that's happening after Tide Down?
Of course.
July 12th, that's a Saturday, we are playing at Lion Skate Park, which used to be TRP. There's Midwest Spin Kick Fest.
It's the sickest name I've ever heard.
I don't know all the bands that are playing off the top of my head. I know us, Poison Tongues, World of Malice,
Wounded Touch, I think, is playing
Wounded
too.
Touch, Escalation of Force, a million other bands. That's my that will also be my birthday, so I'm looking forward to rocking a gig on my birthday. I'll be turning 41. I'll probably be the oldest person in the fucking room.
Probably.
Please come out to that. That's the other thing. Don't just support the big shit like Tied Down. You should absolutely go to that, but also go to the smaller stuff.
There's a lot of effort put
there's a lot of effort.
Everything
into that.
funnels towards everything else.
Yes,
you know.
exactly.
Guys,
We are all
ships, high tides, raise all
exactly.
ships and,
We're all a collective unit,
exactly.
so
Yeah,
it's important.
Don't just come to a show when it's at fucking Tangent, for big bands like that. Go to Edgemont shows, go to Basement shows, go to Monty House.
Go to Parts and Labor.
Yeah.
Go out.
Just don't take.
Go if you have the time and you don't have to work the next day, or even if you do, go to Grand Rapids.
Go to Muskegon.
Yeah.
The Sissy Boys are there every day because they live there.
Yeah.
So go and hang out with them. Yeah, I agree with Kenny.
Hopefully more small shows at that Ride It Sculpture Park this summer.
Yep.
Yeah, I still haven't been there. I've seen. I didn't go to that one.
The D Block show.
yeah,
it's
D-Block.
it's a cool
It
spot.
looks so fucking cool.
I think-
How do they go about reserving?
You don't. They just.
I think you just show up.
they
It's
just
just like
showed
a public spot.
It's a
that,
skate.
like,
It's a
yeah.
public skate park.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just public cement. Like there's not one. I don't think there's anyone that
So there's
runs
no-
that
There's no one you
structured.
contact. As far as I know, there's no one you contact. They just showed up and set up and started
Okay.
playing, and everybody.
That's cool to know.
Nobody gave a shit.
Hardcore
Yeah.
still lives.
Straight up.
That's so badass.
Straight up.
Yeah, I was wondering how that happened.
Well, fuck it. Skate through the bands, even if you do care.
Yeah,
Ride your skateboard through the fucking pit.
Who gives a shit? Like we'll think it's sweet, so
Yeah.
who cares?
Somebody will get it on video.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be famous.
I will say, if we didn't mention your band tonight, please don't take that as an insult. But every band in Michigan is awesome, so we love you, and keep going and keep doing it. I was gonna say because technically, like Thursday is Cyodyne's gonna be opening for
Oh
the
yeah,
Thursday show.
If you have it, go
So-
early.
Yes,
Go early on
please,
Thursday.
If you're going to the Thursday show, you have to watch Cyodyne. They're young kids. They're incredibly talented. All of them are incredibly talented musicians.
If you like riffs, you will not be disappointed.
Straight up. Oh my god, I can't wait for that. They're technically going to be setting the tone. They're going to be lighting the torch. We'll just maybe hand it off to
Yeah, just blow
to the
some
next day.
gas on it.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Yeah, throw it in the middle of the crowd.
Yeah.
Okay.
That first and foremost, and then the last thing I want to say is please get rid of the fucking horseshoe at shows that have a stage. I hate it. We need to bring back the thing where there's like 6 rows of people at the front of the stage, and then the pit is behind them.
Yeah.
Please.
That's the thing. We got too many pitters now, though.
That doesn't matter. There's room. If all of those, if a big glob of those people that are standing in the back just moved up to the front, and then the pit is just the circle right behind them,
Yeah, you're safe. All right.
God,
You
you'd
might
be
get jumped on,
so
that's the
fine.
fun part,
You'd
right?
be so fine. Yeah, exactly. Just I'm hoping that happens at the Magic Stick show. I want that so bad, is to have the rows of people up front, and then the pit's happening behind them. That
I'll
would.
stand up front. I can take up 3 rows.
But yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Yep. Thanks for having us, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.